Welcome back to Project 613. Today we will learn two mitzvot. The mitzvah of Pidyon Ben, redeeming the firstborn son, and Pidyon Peter Chamor, redeeming the firstborn donkey. This comes in continuation to the mitzvot, which are gifts that are given to the Kohanim. The verse tells us, Bechor banecha titen li, that when we give birth to a firstborn son, this child is automatically to be given to God, to Hashem, and not only to be given, but is already considered as though it belongs to Hashem. Now, the Kohanim, the priests, are God's representatives here on earth. So when we say the child belongs to Hashem, it belongs to the Kohanim who represent God. And therefore, the Torah tells us in this mitzvah that the father needs to redeem his son from the Kohanim, since his son automatically, inherently belongs to the Kohanim, is the gift that Hashem gives the Kohanim. Therefore, of course, the father wants to have his child, so he redeems his child from the Kohen, and this is the mitzvah of Pidyon Ben, redeeming the redemption of the firstborn. This is done in a ceremony that takes place on the 31st day, after a full month has gone by, after the baby is born. There's a ceremony that takes place where the father offers 5 silver pieces, 5 slaim, with a value of 5 slaim, to the Kohen, and he actually asks the Kohen, do you prefer the boy or do you prefer the 5 silver pieces? And of course the Kohen takes the 5 silver pieces, and the father gets to keep his child. There are certain exceptions to this mitzvah. Only an Israelite, a Yisrael, has to perform this mitzvah. A Kohen or a Levi themselves do not have to redeem their firstborn sons. And similarly, the daughter of a Kohen or the daughter of a Levi who gives birth, also their firstborn son does not have to have the redemption of the firstborn. If a child who was a firstborn boy, if his father didn't redeem him when he was a baby, then when he grows up, it is a mitzvah on him. He has to fulfill the mitzvah himself and perform this mitzvah and redeem himself from the Kohen. This is the first mitzvah that we learned today. One of the interesting reasons of why the number of 5 slaim, 5 silver pieces, was chosen for the amount for the redemption of the firstborn is to atone for the story of when the brothers, the tribes, sold Joseph, and they sold him for 5 silver pieces. So when we perform this mitzvah, Pidyon Ben, we are atoning for the sale of Joseph. The second mitzvah that we learned today in a similar way is called Pidyon Peter Chamor, which means redeeming the firstborn donkey. The Torah tells us, Peter Chamor tifteh v'seh, when a person has a donkey and it gives birth to a firstborn, then the owner has to give a lamb in its place in order to redeem. So this firstborn donkey is considered the Kohen's, it's a gift for the Kohen. And if the owner wants to keep the firstborn donkey for himself, so in its place, he has to give a lamb to the Kohen. If he doesn't want to give a lamb, he can exchange it for the value of a lamb. And in a similar way to Pidyon Ben, just like a Kohen and a Levi do not have to perform this mitzvah when it comes to the firstborn son, so too a Kohen and Levi do not have to perform the mitzvah of redeeming the firstborn donkey. Why was the donkey chosen from all other animals? With no other animal do we have a mitzvah of giving the firstborn to the Kohen. Many reasons are given. One of them is that the donkeys helped the Jewish people. When the Jewish people left Egypt, it was the donkeys that carried all the gold and silver and belongings, and therefore they were chosen for this special mitzvah where they are given as a gift to the Kohanim. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.